Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. Today I'm going to be doing my what sold for last weekend, which would be Friday through Sunday, December 2nd through the 4th. I've got a lot of good sales to share with you, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, we did a thing this week. We bought a truck. An unexpected expense for us, so had to take on debt that I wasn't intending to, but we realized that in order for us to continue with our business and doing the bulk sourcing that we like to do, we like to go to Nashville, we like to go to St. Louis, we've been to Indianapolis, and we go for days. We fill a trailer and we come home, and that was just no longer going to be something we could do with our current vehicle. So we had to go out this weekend and buy a truck, and that's all I'm gonna say. Can you see? So we have a new reason to get more things listed, more things sold, and get this debt paid down as quickly as possible, because I haven't had a car payment in a really long time, and it caused me some anxiety, but I'm glad. It was something that we really needed to do, so I'm happy. But all right, didn't have anything for Etsy last weekend, but this past week I've had 4 orders, which that is a lot for me on Etsy because I don't hardly have anything listed there. But so I'm only going to be sharing Mercari, Poshmark, and of course all things eBay. eBay has been amazing for me. And I'm starting to see a little bit of ups and downs as far as my day's sales, but that's kind of expected about right now. It's going to start diminishing in sales as people realize they can't get their stuff. So let's just go ahead and go through this. First thing, one Mercari order to share. This is Disney Fancy Nancy. It's Frenchie the dog. It's an okay series. I like to pick up character plush. Some of the dolls do better, but I do go ahead and pick up the dogs also. This sold for $8 on Mercari. 4 Poshmark orders to share. This is Dennis Basso Bear Plush. 16 inches. It sold for $9 on Posh. Okie dokie. I have learned even these light toys that normally you could ship first class, but on Poshmark everything is priority, they still do well. Loveys are a universal need for new parents, especially of a toddler who has lost their lovey. So I'm going to be putting a lot of my loveys over onto Poshmark also. This is an Okie dokie monkey lovey rattle plush. It says my little buddy right there on the front. It sold for $15. Groovy Girls. These were given to me from a friend when she was moving. I don't think I had them on Poshmark, but just a week or so. It was kind of a really fast sale for me on there, where they've been on eBay. If you're new to my channel, everything gets listed on eBay, and then I use an extension called List Perfectly to cross-list to other platforms. I'm currently doing Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark. A lot of my low dollar stuff I transfer over to Mercari. My vintage goes to Etsy, and then most of the things that are like all clothes, and then most of the things that are like $15 or more I've been putting on Posh, but I haven't cross-listed as much as I should have this year, and that's one of my goals for next year. I don't do free shipping either, so anytime I say something sold, it did not include shipping that the buyer paid. But these Groovy Girls tent and sleeping bag set sold for $35. This is the Velveteen Rabbit plush. This one is 14 inches. It was for a Target exclusive, $19.85. It sold very quickly also on Poshmark. And then let's get to the eBays. Here's my little weekly advertising. If you're going to be doing any shopping on eBay or other platforms, I do have links, affiliate links, that if you go click on them down in either the banner or down in the description, I do get a small commission. So I'd appreciate it if, you know, you would use my links. Also, if you would like List Perfectly, WorthPoint, Haulsale, and American Bubble Boy, if you've not done a subscription to them, I do have links down in the description also. Everything helps. Thanks. All right, eBay. This is an Eden Paddington Bear minifigure, 5 inches tall. It sold for $13.45. Most of the items that I share with you guys, we pick up at thrift stores, especially when we do our big sourcing trips to the Goodwill bins. Estate sales is one of my other favorite things to go to on the weekends, and then yard sales when it is yard sale season. This is by, it says US Toys. Let me go look down here. Yeah, US Toy Company. Cute little mouse rat, 12-inch plush. It sold for $13.45. A lot of times it doesn't matter what the brand is, it's what the theme is, what the plush is, because there's collectors for all types of animals and other things. Disney, Perry the Platypus plush, and he is one of the ones that makes sounds. He's from Phineas and Ferb. Loved that show. It sold for $17.95. Doll accessories. Watch for them. You can, especially at the bins. If you're not familiar with the bins, that's the Goodwill outlets where you pay by the pound. I pick up lots of smalls when we go, but especially these vintage like Cabbage Patch and Baby Born, Lovabella. There's lots of different ones that I pick up. Little Mommy from Fisher Price, and then I do small lots. The Lovabellas I sell individually for at least 20 or more for like bottles and pacifiers. These two Cabbage Patch pacifiers sold for $22.45. Snoopy, I pick up most things Snoopy. This was a 6-inch plush. He sold for $10.25. Department 56. I meant to scooch all my high dollar stuff to the end, but I forgot. I picked up a lot of 5 different Harley Davidson Department 56 items. I think this was the last one to sell. It was the highest priced one. It sold for $89.96. And what's funny is I had larger sales on it, 15% off. I had been sending offers, and yet it still sold at the sale price that I had it listed for. Big Mouth Billy Bass. I picked this up recently at our little favorite estate sale. I paid, I think, $3. Pretty sure $3 for it. Hoping that it was going to work, and this time it paid off for me. It did have a little bit of wear, but I did have a video of it showing that it did work. It sold for $22.45. There's another one that I think connects to Google or the other one. I can't remember what its name is. We have Google. But it sells for like $100. So definitely keep your eyes out for the Big Mouth Billy Bass, especially when they're in their box. Wish Pets. It's an okay brand. I do pick up, but it doesn't sell for a whole lot. Usually in my bread and butter. This one was a Puffin from 2013. It sold for $12. Fiesta Gingerbread. I pick up most things Christmas also, and I list them all year, and they sell all year, but typically this time of year I sell a whole bunch more. This was just a cute gingerbread man, 9-inch, sold for $10.25. This was a nice find, and it was funny. It was because Robert had gone to this yard sale a couple of times. I refer to certain types of yard sales as chronic. You know, they have them 4, 5, 10 times a year, and you start figuring out which addresses that you've already been to. Robert had actually gone to this one twice, but since we arrived and I hadn't been to it, we got out and I found these 4 items in a box for $5. And when I looked at the bottom, they were called Busy Buddies, but they were from 1995. And I just thought they were unique. So I picked them up. Come to find out, there were comps that were like 80 to 100. I think some of the other ones there's another item, I don't remember what it was, another dinosaur desk accessory. But mine had the pin holder with the original pins, which none of the other sets had. The pins did not work. They were going to need to be refilled. But I listed it kind of high, and when I got a best offer of $85, I swooped it up. Commonwealth Tan Rabbit plush from 2012. I like that brand, especially the vintage. This is a little bit more contemporary. Still a good find, sold for $15 best offer. Precious Moments puzzles. Y'all know we are fanatics for puzzles. You can see the ones I need to work on are still back there, and then we have more upstairs. We always have a puzzle going anytime, and then as soon as we finish them, I take pictures and I list them. A lot of them are just bread and butter, $8 to $12, especially because they've been opened and used. But I can at least say they're complete, and I throw the ones that away that aren't. But these 4 were sealed. I picked them up at a yard sale for $1 each. They were from 1997. They were Precious Moments, and I sold them for best offer of $56. Knickerbocker, it's another vintage brand I love to pick up. I don't find it very often. There's a series called The Animals of Distinction. I like to pick them up, but again, they're vintage. Most people would pass them by because they're not, a lot of times they're not very cute. They're kind of plain, like this one. It still sold for $22.45. Y'all, if you haven't been looking for these, look for these. I just picked these up at the Nashville Bins when I went to do the Bins Bingo. This was, they're McDonald's. They were the adult Happy Meal toys. This one was Birdie. It sold for $16. I could only find 2. This one and then this one. This was the Hamburglar, and he sold for $21. So they're still selling. So if you've not been looking for them at the bins, I would start. You know, you don't ever know how long the trend's going to go, but these were very quick sells for me. Within a day or 2 of listing, I took the best offers. Demert Company. This is one of those brain teaser puzzles. A lot of times I pick up the, trying to remember what they're called. They're like a 9-piece puzzle. I can't remember what they're called. But this one is shaped like a triangle, and it sold as soon as I listed it, probably within a couple of hours. I picked this up at the Nashville Bins also, so I don't have very much in it. Sold for $9.95. Here, this is what the pieces look like. They're just triangles, and this one forms a large triangle. And when you put them together, each of the sides has to form the correct bat. Francoma, Robert picked up a bunch of these, 2 boxes full of them for $5 a box at the last day on an estate sale. This one sold for $22.45. I think I have 1 or 2 pieces left. Baby Gund, I pick up lots of baby plush, especially Baby Gund, Kids Preferred, Fisher Price. This was a bit larger of a dog. Usually they're like 6 inches long. This one was 10 inches. They almost always have a little coat on them. This was number 5766. It sold for $22. Snowflake Teddy Bear from TB Trading Company. These were like annual bears that came out. This one was from 1996. Sometimes if I have the boy and the girl, I'll list them together, but I probably didn't with this one. It's good sometimes to go ahead and list these individually. That way if somebody already has the girl, they can purchase this one, and they're the perfect size to fit down in a large priority box. If you had 2 of them, you would have to end up probably in a box that's oversized. Holiday Home Christmas Village. This is a Walmart series also. I bought a large tote of Christmas stuff. Some of it was Department 56. I think I had like 5 houses of this type. None of them had the lights with them, so I make sure I put that in my listing. It still sold for $13.45. Kohl's, I pick up most Kohl's at least that are clean. This was Pete the Cat. I think I just picked this up at the Nashville Bins, and it sold very quickly for $7.50. Vintage Christmas stuff. These are miniature. They're only 1 inch, and I do have a tape measure in my pictures to make sure people don't realize that this is full size. But I pick these up a lot, and I make lots like this, and they sell, especially this time of year. But this set of 3 sold for $24. Probably paid 50 cents each. Classic Pepe jeans. We list a lot of jeans. We sell a lot of jeans. That's going to be like something we really focus on next year is the jeans. You pay around here, we pay $1, maybe $1.50. Fila bags, so they're like 30 cents. Just normal brands, nothing high end usually. And we can get, you know, 12, 15 and more dollars for them, plus shipping. And so this pair sold for $15. Lincoln Logs, I bought a tote that was full of buildings and logs and train tracks. I divvied it all up. This is the last set to sell. These are the figures and the horses. They sold for best offer of $20. Lego minifigures, still selling them. These 2 were Batman Roz. I'm not even going to try. They're from Batman. They sold for $35.95. I showed a video about this. We went to Cincinnati. We were helping a friend get up to family and decided to hit some of the thrift stores around there. We went into I think it was a Savers. I bought tons of bags. I think I spent $120 on bags of Legos because they were just packed with minifigures. Each bag I opened up, I took out as many minifigures as I could. I dumped the rest of the blocks on my area over there. Took pictures, listed most of them I think for $40 to $50. I've been selling some of those lots, but then I have been listing the minifigures in very small lots depending on the characters, and I think I ended up with 62 lots of minifigures. And I've made so much money on them, so definitely keep your eyes out, especially in thrift stores when they have the bulk bags. That if you see lots of minifigures, grab them. This is a viewer sale, so thank you very much, Kathy. She bought this Big Dogs polo shirt for $13. Hallmark ornaments. Some of them are bread and butter. Some of them are a little bit more for me. This was a Frosty Fun Decade 2016. Sold for $16.16. That's a whole lot of 16s in that. Disney Conservation Fund Bengal Tiger plush sold for $15.25. Pyrex percolator. I showed this in a recent haul. I have sold, I think, everything but the basket topper and the actual coffee pot at this point. This was just the little glass basket. It sold for $14. I think I picked this up at the Nashville Bins also. They were just in a little baggie. I had to use Google Lens because I didn't even know what they were, but they're Bandai Digimon figures, little, like minifigure size. This sold very quickly for $25. Pieces and parts. We like to buy the vintage kitchen appliances, and then I part them out. This was the lid or cover to a Regal La Machine food processor. It sold for $8. More minifigures. This is Dobby from Harry Potter. He sold for $8.96. More Christmas ornaments. 'Tis the season, right? It sold for $13.45. Teddy Ruxpin outfit. It's actually the jacket. I went to a yard sale and I bought a bunch of plush. I think she charged me like 30 some dollars for everything that I had in a big old pile. And then, y'all, I bought a huge tote of Monster High dolls and I have forgotten about them. They're sitting over here. So I've got to get to that this week. I picked this up at the Goodwill bins in Nashville. Also on this last trip, I used it as part of the bins bingo for Bolo Buddies game. This is a vintage Popples. It had some definite wear. A lot of them do, but it did have its puff tail, which is often missing. I just make sure I show all pictures really close up. Here he is tucked inside. And then here's a picture of the puff tail. $25.46. You can't beat that. This is Rodney the reindeer, but this is a large plush. A lot of times when I measure these, I sell a lot of the smalls. I measure from like the nose to the tail, and it's 4 inches. This one, nose to tail, is 8 inches. It's really important to show a tape measure with these because somebody might look at this and think that it's the small one and it's been measured like leg to leg. So that's just how I've always done it. But I did notice some people had, like, for this size, they have like 16 inches because they've measured that way. These don't sell as well as the minis. Definitely keep your eyes out for the minis. American Eagle, we pick up a lot of them and we do really well with that brand. These women's jeans sold for $15. Legos. This is Darth Vader from the Advent Calendar, $25.46. Levi's 515. You'll see I have tags on them. I do not list any of our clothing items as new. You know, if it was in a sealed bag, maybe. But for most of ours, I just prefer to list them as pre-owned. But as you can see here, I put unused. I think you just have less issues with bureaus and everything else if you just list your stuff used. These sold for $16.50. Spark Create Imagine, that's a Walmart brand. Love Walmart. This is a 14-inch bear, sold for $12.71. Barrington, love that brand. This is a black and white rabbit. It sold for $9.25. But again, this was nostalgia for somebody who was buying it for his girlfriend based on one that she had had as a child. I love those stories. Love them. Dollywood plush. I pick up a lot of Dollywood and Ripley's aquarium in this area because there is both in Pigeon Forge, which is like an hour and a half from here. Sold very quickly, $16.96. Snow globes. I'm not going to buy any more snow globes. Just too hard to pack, especially if you don't have the box, which this one didn't. And I had one that I shipped all the way to Hawaii, and I just think the pressurized thing in the cargo of an airplane just changed the water. It just turned foggy after that flight, and so I had an unhappy buyer. So I'm not going to do water globes anymore. It sold for $18.66. Toys R Us White Cat from 2012 sold for $11. Very cute. And then Lego Star Wars Chewbacca from Manhattan Toy Company. It sold for $8 very quickly. All right, I'm going to get to work. I am still working on the hauls stuff from the last 2 videos that we shared with you guys. I've got to get this Monster High stuff listed. That's what happens when it gets pushed over here behind this. I have like a, I don't know, enclosed area, and if it gets back there, sometimes it gets forgotten. But I'm running out of space. I have so much stuff to get listed. All right, we've got work to do. Get to it. Bye.